Hey YouTube, welcome to Basic Computer Help. This video I'm going to walk through pretty much the Raspberry Pi Pico. I just recently got this. Um, Took me a little while to get a hold of it. Everybody has been sold out forever. And now I'm actually going to plug it in and everything else. Now I'm going to run this in the Arduino code just because I don't want to go through the hassle of installing the C++ library on Windows. It's a minor pain in the ass. You got to install Windows subsystem for Linux. I don't want to do all that. I just want to do the code in Arduino. All right. All right, let's cover some first impressions of the board. Now this is going to be mostly what everybody else has said. It's a nice small board. Honestly, it's a little smaller than I thought it was, but it's still pretty nice. I do intend to solder some headers. I just got to find headers that I just don't want to have to trim two headers. And yeah, I want to be one continuous header straight across. I know I have them somewhere. I do like the castellated edges. I've never actually had any need to do it. I was hesitant when I saw all the other reviews talking about the castellated edges, but I think it looks really nice. One major criticisms I have, and everybody else has it, is all of the pin numbers are on the bottom. Not a fan of that, but that's okay. I did get a cheat sheet for it when I bought this. I bought this off from Adafruit. So yeah. I do want to compare this up against another board that I managed to get, which is the Itsy Bitsy 32U4. I bought this for another project, which I'm not ready to talk about yet. So yeah, if you wanted a size comparison. Also, if you want to see how it looks up with Uno, this is an actual, well, it's an Uno clone. As you can see, I'm a big fan of Adafruit Industries. All right.
All right, now I'm on my computer. If I fade in and out, it's because this cheap Logitech webcam doesn't work all the time. And for clarity's sake, I've already hooked this up to the computer and set up Arduino Core just to get it set up, make sure there wasn't any issues. But when you first do this, you're going to want to make sure you hold down the boot select button, and we're going to plug it in. And then we're going to just plug this thing in like so. If you're holding down the boot select button, you'll see your drive will come up. For me, it comes up as D. For you, it might come up as a different drive letter, or if you're on Mac or Linux, it'll come up as their drive paths. And we're going to start up Arduino IDE. The way to do this is going to be the same, very similar in Arduino 2.0, as it is, which is currently in beta, as well as it'll be the same in 1.8 version. All right, here we go in the Arduino IDE. This is version 2.0. We're gonna go to Tools, Board, and if it's your first time, you're gonna go to Board Manager. In 1.8, this will actually come up in a window, and then you're gonna just go to search for RP2040. It's easier if you do it RP2040. And then you'll want the Arduino Embed OS RP2040 boards by Arduino, which includes Raspberry Pi Pico. Now, just to make sure this all works, you make sure you select your appropriate board. Now, in this state, it's going to read that the Raspberry Pi Pico is not connected. Don't worry about that. Just make sure you upload a blank sketch to your Pico. When I'll hold this up, I'm going to hit upload. Switch over to the webcam. it'll disconnect and then it'll reconnect. You'll see that it's blinking, and that is actually normal. As you can see, I have a delay, just a basic blink sketch going on. And we're just going to zoom in just to make it a lot more clear. But it's just the blink sketch. I believe I've configured it for a half a second each. And it's actually a very old sketch. So this is actually for the Uno. And it just, everything went over to the Raspberry Pi Pico. Now, when you do that, it'll also install like a COM driver. And now for mine, it'll be on COM 9. Now, this is a program that I write, that I have written, and I upload it to every new chip that I'm unsure of anything. And all it does is gets me what the size of certain things are. Like an 8-bit integer. Why do I do that? That's just so I have a reference of, you know, what I'm looking at, because that should be the same size on every one of my chips. And then, of course, what a 16-bit integer, the size of it is, and then what the size of an int is, an unsigned int, which should be the same, as well as double, float, and char. I do that one just to make sure everything's there and there's nothing in the loop. I'll post a link in the GitHub to this, and I'll release this code into the public domain just because. Now we're going to upload it. Now, yes, it's not in the set up for, uploading a new UF2 file, but the serial, the COM port that Arduino installs, allows it to reset the board appropriately, pragmatically, so that you don't have to constantly unplug it and plug it back in holding that button. So we're going to upload. It brings up the one thing, it then uploads it, and done. Let's bring up the serial monitor. Whoops. Let's just go. And we're back. It took me a minute. I couldn't get this to work. I looked it up. I had to add a delay between when I set up the serial port and when I read everything. But it looks like the integers are 32-bit size integers, which is good. That's what I expect. Doubles are 64-bit, floats are 32-bit, and chars are again 8-bit chars. Like I said, I'll post a link to a GitHub repository with this code in there to have at you if you want to use it for anything you would like. That's it. I know this was kind of a weird, quick, crappily, looks like it was hasted together video. But anyway, hope you have a good day. If you go over to my vlogging channel within the next couple of days, it depends on how long it takes me to edit that video, I'm going to show you me going to the electronics store, because for me to solder headers on, I need to get some solder. Alright, until next time, have a good one.